The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Hurricane Beryl did a number on the Jamaican economy in the September quarter last year. As evident in the numbers published for that September quarter, the economy contracting by 3.5%. The question emerges, what will the fourth quarter numbers look like? And beyond that, what are the economic prospects for 2025, a year in which we are guaranteed, unless there's a massive act of God, we're guaranteed in 2025 to have a general election. How does the government manage things up to that point? How does it put the necessary things in place, pulls the right levers to coax growth out of an economy that has been somewhat sluggish in recent quarters? I get the perspective of two gentlemen of business, two learned men, their idea as to how growth can be returned to this Jamaican economy in 2025. Lead story on this Thursday. Let's start the show. Welcome to Lead Story on CVM TV on this Thursday. It's that thing that is spoken about so often, written about copious notes written about economic growth, so much airtime devoted to economic growth. And we're talking about economic growth again, especially after those disappointing numbers for the September quarter last year were reported by the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, and Statin. No fourth quarter numbers in just yet, but the feeling is that they won't be as bad as Q3 last year, but that they'll also show that there's some ground for the economy to make up. You know the format of this show. We prepare a package at the top of the discussion to set the tone for the conversation we're set to have with our experts. And today we oblige you in the same way.
The Jamaican economy has been showing steady and healthy macroeconomic indicators for the last couple of years, largely attributed to a disciplined fiscal diet of measured policy, an active central bank, and a strong economic oversight framework. However, unimpressive economic growth is the thorn in the flesh of Jamaica's record of fiscal and monetary successes. The Jamaican economy recorded a growth rate of 2.6% in 2023, bolstered by strong performances in the mining and tourism sectors. However, 2024 presented significant challenges as the Planning Institute of Jamaica reported a projected 2.8% contraction in the July to September quarter when compared to the same period in 2023. This decline is primarily attributed to the devastating impact of Hurricane Beryl, particularly on the agro-industry and its linkages. For the first 9 months of 2024, the economy is estimated to have shrunk by 0.4%, with the construction sector leading the downturn with a 2.9% decline. On a brighter note, the hotels and restaurants sector experienced a 2.1% growth, reflecting resilience in tourism, while financial services recorded a 1.9% uptick. Inflation has shown a marked improvement, with point-to-point headline inflation declining from 7.4% in January to 4.3% in November 2024. This decrease aligns with the Bank of Jamaica's target range of 4 to 6%. The average inflation rate from January to November 2024 was 5.6% compared to 6.5% for the same period in 2023, signaling progress in anchoring inflation expectations. Jamaica's international reserves remain robust, with gross official reserves covering 29.3 weeks or 7.3 months of goods and services imports as of December 2024. While this is below the April 2021 peak of 38.8 weeks or 9.7 months, it far exceeds the 3-month benchmark for countries with flexible exchange rates. Net international reserves also saw a significant increase, standing at US $5.583 billion in December 2024, and that's a 17.3% rise when compared to US $4.758 billion in December 2023. So what are the economic forecasters seeing for 2025? While the International Monetary Fund, IMF, forecasts a more modest 1.3% growth for 2025. These figures underscore the ongoing efforts to stabilize and recover amid external shocks and climate-related disruptions. Despite economic setbacks in 2024, particularly due to climate-related events, Jamaica has demonstrated resilience in sectors such as tourism and financial services. Efforts to manage inflation and maintain healthy reserves provide a foundation for cautious optimism as the country looks toward recovery and stability in 2025. So can 2025 be the year when the solid macroeconomic indicators are accompanied by growth? And will our politicians in an election year maintain the fiscal discipline, or will the temptation during the electioneering threaten the perpetuity of the tight ship? We discuss on Lead Story.
I'm running to a break. When I return, Wayne Chen and Metro Siaga.
It's sunrise where the fun rise. Come rise with Sunrise. We begin your Friday with the best of the internet in React. Grab your gear, we head to the field for the Sunrise JPL Roundup. We'll keep the energy going with the Rebel Salute crew. Tune in for the inside scoop on this year's staging. Then Yendi and IT take to the weekend with a dance party in Feel Fit Friday. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and business content at CVM TV News anytime, anywhere. Subscribe now to CVM TV News to see it happen.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV. So just before I go to my guests, in case you missed the headlines from that package we prepared, we have the numbers laid bare for you to talk about the economic fundamentals and where we are in certain key areas. So let's have a look at inflation and economic growth. So Q1 in 2024, 1.4%, Q2, 0.2%, Q3, the September quarter, declined by 3.5%. Inflation, point to point, 7.4% is where it fell from in January to 4.3% by November 2024. The BOJ's range, of course, is between 4 and 6%, and up to November, it was trending at 5.6%, so well inside the BOJ's range in terms of the upper limit of the BOJ's inflation range. Unemployment, 4.2% April 2024. July 2024, it was 3.6%. So unemployment continues to come in at unbelievably low levels in this economy. We told you that construction grew by 3.3% in Q3. Manufacturing fell by 4%. Mining and quarrying and agriculture, forestry and fishing both falling by double digits according to Statin. NIR, well over the benchmark 12 weeks of coverage. The NIR 17.3% higher than at December 2023 highly commendable numbers. So the macroeconomic fundamentals are strong, and that's where I go to Metri Siaga. Metri, welcome to Lead Story here on CVM TV. You've seen a lot in your time as a businessman. One of the things that you haven't seen a lot of, or we haven't seen a lot of, is going into a new year, we look back and say, well, at least the macroeconomic fundamentals are strong as we go forward. There can be no argument that they are strong right at this moment in time on this day in sports. What, in your view, needs to happen now for us to trend towards the kinds of growth that this economy has the potential to deliver? Metri, are you hearing me? Metri has a permanent smile as if he's frozen in time. We'll have to go back to that. Wayne Chen, did you catch that? You heard me now. There we go. There we go. So go ahead now, Metri. I'm hearing you now. Hearing me? Yes. I'm hearing you now. All right. So we're going to have to sort out that line. Wayne, did you catch the question and the context of the question?
Yes, the context of the question, frankly, is that for at least since the early 1970s, Jamaica has not been able to attain the high rates of economic growth that we need to transform the country. We have seen other countries that were behind us in GDP per capita, all the important macroeconomic indicators over the last 50 years. And we've seen Jamaica lag behind, and we need to change gear. The fact is that the recent achievements of this country are significant, commendable, and necessary, but not sufficient if we are going to go to the next phase, which is rapid economic growth, rapid inclusive economic growth, because we have had rapid growth in the past that was non-inclusive. And indicators are good. The indicators are good. It's good to have that degree of NIR, net international reserve. Yes. Because it has meant a stable currency. People may not realize that over the last 3-4 years, the dollar has hovered around the 150-ish, 155, 156, which represents a very, very small variation, which can easily be also attributed to even any movement against the US. It can also be attributed to the low inflation because over time, our dollar differential tends to also reflect the inflation differential between ourselves and our biggest trading partner. Yes. Macroeconomic stability has been critical. Fiscal prudence has been critical. Yes. There are other significant achievements in recent times, and I hope it becomes a trend. The long-awaited investment in things like law and order. Yes. We have had a record fall in murders in this 1 year, down 19%, I believe. Over 200 Jamaicans fewer. Yes. Murdered last year. But what we don't talk about enough is the 2,000 new police officers added over that period. Yes. Or equipment, technology, infrastructure given to the police to maintain law and order. Because law and order, after macroeconomic instability, has been the second big bugbear that we would have discussed years ago at our different associations. Over time. Yeah, you are very correct there. You're very correct there, Wayne Chen. The foundation is being built, and yes. It's an important foundation. And I want to give Mitri a chance because he has a lot to say. Yes, let me, I think we have Mitri back now. Mitri, are you hearing me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Right.
So I was saying to you that I asked the question in a particular way because here's the thing. I'm not so much concerned about the chasing the dream of significant economic growth of the kind that other countries get. What I'm focused on as an individual is talking about the kind of economic growth that this economy has the potential to deliver. I still believe that we're not anywhere near what the economy has the potential to give, and that's my focus. So I want to ask you, with the economic fundamentals as strong as they are, what are some of the things you think we can do to get us near to what our full potential as an economy is, where the growth numbers are concerned?
So, George, I, like you, I'm very, very bullish on Jamaica. I think that we are we are just at a fraction of where we could be. I think that with, as Wayne said, the macroeconomic stability that we have achieved, we are now poised for takeoff. One of the things that we need to do is we need to cure the violent sickness that we have of bureaucratic red tape and inefficiencies in government. It is stifling our country, and it is causing us to have reduced growth. If we fix that, then we are able, in my opinion, to achieve a lot of growth that we, because of our location, because of where we sit, and the many, many benefits that we offer as a country, we are going to be able to turn this economy into a logistics centered economy. And we are going to see exports fly through the roof. The simple fact is that
I think we lost
to spend more on social programs. We need a bigger economy.
Yes, absolutely. So, gentlemen, let us take a quick break and come right back and just sort out the lines. I just want to ensure that you're hearing me clearly. We don't have much time, and I want to use it to the best effect here on Lee's Story on CVM TV.
Action on a Monday night, a match made in heaven. We call it Monday Match Night. Catch all the heart-pounding JPL Monday night action from now until the end of the season on CVM TV's Monday Match Night. Matchday Mondays at 7:45 p.m. with rebroadcast Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Nothing else can quite match up. Monday Match Night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights
Back with us on Lee's Story here. The technical glitches are threatening to scupper our best laid plans, but we crack on. Wayne, I hope you're hearing me. So here's the thing now. Here's the thing now. Again, when we talk about economic growth, the obvious thing for the interview to pull for is what can the government do to grow the economy. You and I and many people like us know that governments in free market economies like ours play a supporting role. It's really the private sector that is the engine of growth. And so I ask you, Metri spoke about red tape removal before the break. That's a government issue. What needs to happen for our private sector players to be able to be even more effective running business than they have been up to this point to push the growth momentum forward?
Well, we have touched on three. We have touched on macroeconomic stability, which gives us the ability to predict and plan for ahead. Low inflation has also led to some relatively low interest rates, not where we would want them to be, but single digit for the first, sustainably single digit for the first in a long time. We have at least seen a trend in reducing violence and crime. But the next quantum leap forward is going to take place around the rapid upskilling of our workforce, because we have a very unskilled, only 40% of the workforce right now with certified skills. You're not going to get rapid economic growth with a low-skilled workforce. Higher skills mean higher value added, means higher wages, higher real wages, higher production of wealth. We have the issue of of digital transformation. The world is changing rapidly around us, and for Jamaica to keep up and keep competitive, we have to digitally transform our organizations. Many private sector companies have done so, many individuals have done so. But the government, which is the largest consumer of resources and home of over 100,000 Jamaican workers in three key areas, in education, in healthcare, in ensuring that we don't have long lines that take up hours in the tax offices.
Yes.
We could digitally transform our country rapidly.
Yes.
And it's not a technology issue. The technology is there. In fact, for many of us, the productivity tools, the technology exists in our smartphones, in our hands.
Yes.
It's the mindset change and the regulatory infrastructure that allows for the digital transformation. And it has become a national imperative.
Hear you on that.
Any government, and it's difficult to do before an election, but a new government with a new mandate, and when I say new government, not necessarily a change of government, but
yes,
new mandate means that you have the political capital to spend on change.
Yes.
Change is hard. People are displaced. There's a lot of pain in the early stages, but we must have in our line of sight the rapid upskilling of our workforce and the implementation of the digital transformation in all aspects of our lives. Otherwise, Jamaica is just going to continue to drift and fall further behind.
Hear you on that. Hear you on that. Metri, I've in my relatively short time compared to both you gentlemen here, observing the economic prospects of the country year over year, I've heard businessmen say, look, if a government can give me a low unemployment environment to work in where there's labor and capital available, I can do more in terms of investment and ramping up production. If I have a low interest rate environment, I can do more business. If I have a steady inflation where I can make my projections based on a confidence that inflation will be kept within a certain band, I will be able to do more business. These things are now available. So I'm saying, insofar as a government playing its role and being facilitating this administration, this government in office has been facilitating. Maybe another government coming in, even if the party changes, can also be facilitating. The point I'm making is this. The things that businesses have long said they want in Jamaica, many of those things are now available for them to go out and do even more business. Am I reading the situation correctly by framing it that way, or there are still key things that are absent from the mix?
You're reading it absolutely correctly. However, the point that I made about bureaucracy, you can have all of those things. And if you have the red tape, the bureaucracy, and the speed bumps put in the way, it is going to slow us down. So yes, the government has done the hard work. From the government before this has started it, and this government has carried it on. And I pray that if there is a change of government, they too will continue to carry on the fiscal responsibility that has put the macroeconomy in a place that allows us now to create the growth. And there it has started, George. As I said, I am very bullish on Jamaica, and people are predicting doom and gloom. I am not so doing. I'm not an economist, but I will tell you what I see happening in Jamaica and the buildings that I see going up and the places that I see opening and the new businesses that I see. I have to wonder sometimes, if we're measuring growth correctly. That's for another discussion.
Yes.
However, the bottom line is that I am bullish on Jamaica. We are not even, we have just, all we've seen is the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to come. And I really believe that as Jamaicans, we have to change our mindset, as Wayne just said. We have to understand that we are just not this like a poor country anymore.
Yes. Yes.
To believe that we can be a rich country and that our people deserve to have a GDP per capita of more than 7,000 per person.
Yes.
We have to understand that it is not. It's not cool to be broke. It's not. Those times are gone. We want people to feel the benefits of this macroeconomic stability for everybody.
Yeah, let me put this in the mix, Metri. Wayne mentioned the exchange rate, and some observers will look at it and say, well, 150 odd to 1 US, that's not good. But in terms of the stability and the predictability of movement over time, business people have been able to plan properly because the variations in the exchange rate, as happened in previous cycles, are not as wild as to throw your projections and your predictions off track. That is something that I don't think is given enough credit in the business environment here in Jamaica.
Exactly. What we need is predictability. We don't, obviously we do, but we don't care really where the rate is. Japan's yen is at 180 to 1, I think 160 to 1. It doesn't really matter where the dollar is in relation to the US dollar, as long as we have predictability. With predictability, we know how to cost our goods, we know how to plan our businesses, and we know how to move forward. So it is a key component. And as you said, George, we as in the Jamaican people have suffered, have battled, have banged our belly, and we have done the hard things. Now it's the easy part.
Yeah.
Now it's for us to go out, get the business, bring it to Jamaica, and let those businesses start to shine so that people can start to feel the benefit of it.
Yeah.
And the government simply has to move out of the way.
Absolutely. So when in the 90 seconds I have left, I'm giving you the bulk of that time. In terms of labor, as the president of the Employers Federation, you hear the lament about the unsuitability of much of what exists in the labor force. Is there anything short-termish that can be done to begin to cure the problem of the labor challenges that face some companies looking to expand production or even expand capacity over the course of the calendar year with a general election to intervene?
I believe that the Heart Trust, which is paid for by employers' contributions, we pay for it. It is there to improve skills. Heart has made a very strong signal in terms of eliminating costs. It advertises, it's out there. I believe we need to go one step further. I believe enterprises like Mitri's private enterprise, but also the enterprises of the members of the PSOJ, the JMEA, the JEF, and the different enterprises in this country, which we do our own training. I think we need to work more closely with Heart, get back some of that Heart money, frankly, and train more people. We are the best poised to train people in market-ready skills.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to have that kind of conversation about how to move from 500,000 trained Jamaicans to 1 million trained Jamaicans.
Yes.
We need also to have a discussion around infrastructure. Some of the economic growth this year will center around the Spark program and repair of the roads that have been damaged. And we underestimate the damage that has been done by Beryl and the rains that we have experienced in Jamaica for 5 months. Devastating. But the building back, ironically, will add to your GDP. But we also have to talk about the internet infrastructure, because there's a huge virtual economy out there that Jamaica can tap into that makes our small island size almost irrelevant if we train it properly. It's also critical to build that infrastructure for that digital transformation I spoke about earlier.
Yeah, Wayne, I'm out of time. I'm flat out of time. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you, Metri. We conquered the internet challenges in the end. All the best to you, gentlemen, for 2025. That's my time on Lead Story. I make way for Nika Lewis, who's getting mic'd. She has her earpiece, her script is ready, and she is wearing that winning smile. She's ready to deliver the news at 7.
No more fear of missing out. CVM TV News is on YouTube. Get up-to-date news, sports, and